Hey guys, welcome to another Ask PIG video. In this video, we have a very interesting question. So when I was sitting down here, I had ideas of recording some other videos about investing and about jobs and stuff like that. But this question that I received on my Instagram kind of made me forget about all of them, and I just wanted to discuss this with you. So this is a message. Of course, I'm going to blend out the personal details here. And this is also one of the reasons why I personally left India to actually decide to make my career somewhere else. And I see when other people are facing the same problems, it's just heartbreaking. So this is the reason now I want to discuss that message, and I'm going to start reading it to you first. Dear sir, hope my text is reaching you in good health. I would like to settle in Germany. Before opting for the course, I would like you to help me understand if I'm in the right direction. I've done my bachelor's in ECE in 2014. Post that, for 4 years, I've tried for an engineering services exam, which I could not crack. This is such a tragedy for the Indian youth that every single time, whenever you're done with your studies, most of the times they just want you to actually get placed in some kind of government job so that you have the security and that you have to work the least and you're still able to have a living with that. This mentality of just risking less so that you can live a secure life when you're fucking 21 or 22, that's really killing the society, and that's killing a lot of ambitions and putting people in the wrong direction. Now look at this person. This person tried to write the engineering services exam. I don't know, could be IES or could be the state engineering services examinations whatsoever. But he tried to prepare for it for 4 years, and it just didn't work out. And most of the times you keep on preparing for these things because the society expects you to do, because maybe some of your friends, they got cleared, and then your parents want you to also go in the same direction. And then whenever you talk about going abroad or something, it always begs the idea that, yeah, what will you do abroad, what you cannot do here? People who cannot make it in India go abroad. And of course, as young people, it hurts the ego, and you feel yeah, of course, I'm not going to go there, and I'm just going to try to build something back in my own home country. But the thing is that the reason for going abroad is something very different. The reason for going abroad is that you deserve respect, that you deserve recognition in the kind of things that you're doing right now. And all of these things, what I personally feel, are missing in India so badly, and they just start directly from the university, where the relationship between the students and the teachers is that of a slave and a king or something. And I've seen a lot of students suffer that way. The teachers will tell the students to do some nonsense task which has nothing to do with the studies, whereas the teachers themselves, when the students will ask them something about the studies or some kind of career counseling, most of them are not ready to lift a finger to help them out. Of course, you could have different kind of experiences, but in my experience, this has been the case for most of the students, and at least in my university, things were not so rosy. So now he writes, eventually I joined a startup and worked for 7 months, including Sundays, and gathered expertise in human resources, marketing, operations, confined to the recruitment industry. During my work, my passion for electronics triggered and motivated me to pursue a career in electronics. Hence, I resigned and prepared for VLSI and landed myself an internship in a semiconductor firm within 5 months. And since then, for 1.5 years, I'm working as an intern. This is just so heartbreaking. You are supposed to do, after 6 months, 3 months, you're supposed to do a full-time job in most of the places. And if you cannot find it, you quit, or the company has the decency of letting you know that we cannot afford you, and maybe right now is not the time that we continue our work together further. But this guy is working as an intern. Most probably the pay would be anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 rupees, if at all, because there are also those cases when you are actually not get paid anything whatsoever. So it sucks. Because I understand internships for smaller time, it makes sense that maybe you have absolutely no idea about that field and somebody's teaching you, and maybe the pay is not that great. That is understandable. But doing it for 1.5 years, and especially when you're pretty much doing full-time employee tasks after 6 months, I think that's really unreasonable. I would like to pursue microelectronics or any other course that helps me settle in Germany. Now in Germany, you have a lot of different kind of courses, especially in the electronics field. In TUHH, you have microelectronics and microsystems. Then you have this, ICS course. What is it? Communication systems or something. Then you have in TU Chemnitz embedded systems course. There are a lot of different kind of courses related to ECE. In FAU Erlangen, there are a few very nice courses. All of these details you can just quickly and easily find on dart.de. There's a list of most of the courses. Of course, not all of the courses are listed there, but like you have enough of them listed where you can like at least start like, shortlisting and figuring out where you want to study further, what kind of subjects are included in that course, and so on. My reason is more than passion or any such emotional mirages have no significance until money is there in the account. I can understand that. I think finances cause so much more problems than like people actually think about. Like this mentality of like, you shouldn't worry about money, blah, blah. I personally find it wrong. I think you should definitely worry about money, because if you don't worry about money, if you don't talk about money, if you do not understand money, you will face a lot of the problems that maybe other people who have decided to like understand money better will not face. And this is what I started, like, of course, in India, like, I was still like in the umbrella of my parents. Anytime like I had something, I could ask them for money and stuff like that. But once I moved to Germany, like, you become independent. You have to take care of your own bills. You have to see what kind of decisions are good or bad. And you have to see how you keep on adding value to your life, so that when your studies end, you can offer something to the companies that nobody else in your batch or nobody else in your entire field can offer them. So these kind of things are very interesting, and you only learn them once you go abroad, once you have the hang of the money and you decide where you can spend it or not. Here in India, companies exploit hardworking non-pedigree resources. They treat them as if they own them. Efforts to result ratio is nil. It is okay for me to clean toilets in Germany, then doing software jobs here as treatment is very bad. I come from a startup background, sir. I did work days together without any sleep. But in the end, I cannot find any financial returns that complement at least 30% of my efforts. Now, these kind of stories are always not nice, because I can understand if you're a group of friends and you're working on a project together and you want to like see it through, and you're like working through weekdays and weekends whatsoever. I've been working on Bharat in Germany and brand device. Ever since this started, like pretty much I'm working every single day. I don't have any kind of holidays in the middle whatsoever. There's something coming up. There's some kind of emails to respond to, some kind of community management to do, some kind of like companies to talk to. It always is there, so I can understand that part. But when somebody is hiring you in the startup to do some kind of work, then you don't need to do the same kind of work, because if you think about it, they are the business owners. They have the most equity. Like if there are any kind of profits, they earn the most. And this is also the reason, like, when my friend was asking me, like, I hired some employees recently, how should I make them work harder? And my answer for them was like, you can't. Like, you are the person who is actually earning the most, so of course you will be the person who will work the hardest. Like, and maybe by some luck they see how hard you're working and they also decide to work as hard as you. That would be a nice plus, and of course it will add value to the company, and it will add value to themselves too, because once you see they are valuable for the company, you also decide to pay them more. Like, this is how things work. But having so much work done without any kind of like financial support in the end, that is not nice. That is not reasonable. And I cannot like, see something like that happening in Germany. Of course, in Germany, there are fields too. For example, in journalism and stuff, you have to do sometimes like unpaid internships. And like, this is just the tradition of that particular field. But it is rather very rare, because everybody understands that if you are doing something, you have to be able to pay your bills. You have to be able to eat. And for that, like, you have some kind of like basic compensation always there. Now he writes further, hence, I have decided to opt for a career in Germany. I've been through your video, sir. I've started learning German from Udemy, A1 to B2, and from all the resources you have mentioned in the videos. I'll be writing the C2 exam too, November at the earliest. Could you kindly help me understand if I'm on the right track or not? And should I opt for German taught microelectronics, embedded systems, mechatronics, robotics course, and settle in Germany? Again, a very nice question. This is the part which like most of the people skip, because they just follow this easy mindset of, yeah, let's just go to Germany, let's just go for the English taught programs, let's just study there and let's find some kind of job. And in all of those talks, what I see always missing is ambition. Like, this person who has been burnt through so many different kind of phases, this person will be very careful and will make extra efforts when he comes to Germany and he has all of the opportunity he needs. I know it because I felt the same way. Like, when I was in India, like, I just felt out of place, because every single time I have a new idea, I want to like talk to the professors about it, it just didn't work. Every single time you have a cool idea, you want to work with your friends on something, it doesn't work. So here, like, things were entirely different. Like, whatever you were doing, you were taken seriously. And these kind of things become even easier when you actually know German, because then an entire new section of the society opens up for you, which is the people who are more comfortable in speaking German. So the native Germans and so on, or like the people who are from migrant backgrounds, grew up in Germany and can just, like, speak German. So with them, like, you can have so much better collaboration. You can, like, sit down with them, you can discuss different kind of things. And these kind of things also show up when you're actually finally starting in your career. Now, let's say you're starting in a job. Most of the people who are just, like, very comfortable with English, yeah, be comfortable with English. But you're forgetting that Germany, Austria and Switzerland, they are still, like, the German speaking countries. If you want to perform here, if you want to get better here, you have to learn German. Anybody else who says anything else, don't listen to them. You have to learn German, you have to get better at it, so that when the time comes when they can trust you with more responsibilities, you are the person who is the first choice for them and nobody else. Because if you think about it, if you have outside work experience, let's say like you worked in India or something, and you also have like good proficiency on English and you have good proficiency of German, then how will they choose anybody else when you are providing the best value to them for their money? That is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys like it. If you have any kind of dilemmas, you can always write to me on Instagram. I personally like this format where I just sit down and like answer your questions, and especially when those questions are talking about something deeper, because what is my profile or like which universities I'm going to get, these are just like very generic things you see over and over again. But something like this is something I really love discussing. Again, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.